Scientists may have been dramatically undercounting the number of vertebrate species on Earth. A large analysis of more than 300 studies suggests that for every recognized species of fish, bird, mammal, reptile, or amphibian, there may be 2 additional cryptic species that look almost identical but are genetically distinct. A new study led by researchers at the University of Arizona suggests that the number of vertebrate species on Earth may be far higher than scientists currently recognize. On average, the researchers found that each known vertebrate species may actually represent 3 distinct species, including 2 previously unrecognized ones known as cryptic species. These hidden species are difficult to distinguish visually but are genetically separate. If many such species remain unidentified, global biodiversity may be significantly underestimated, complicating conservation efforts. Each species that you and I can see and recognize as distinct may actually be hiding 2 different species on average. This means that across vertebrates there may be twice as many species as we previously thought, and many of these hidden species could already be at risk of extinction. Scientists traditionally classify animal species based on visible traits known as morphological features. Differences in color patterns, body shape, or scale arrangement often help researchers tell species apart. For example, snake species may be distinguished by their unique markings or physical proportions. Cryptic species complicate this approach because they appear nearly identical to one another. Although they may look the same externally, genetic evidence reveals that they belong to different evolutionary lineages and have developed separately over long periods of time. Many of these cryptic species have likely been evolving separately for 1 million years or more. So, their DNA tells us that they've been distinct for a long time, even if they look identical. Advances in molecular sequencing have made it much easier and more affordable for scientists to analyze DNA from different populations. As genetic comparisons become more common, researchers are increasingly identifying cryptic species that were previously overlooked. The most surprising finding was how consistently this pattern appears across many types of vertebrates. On average, morphologically based species of fishes, birds, mammals, reptiles, amphibians, and other vertebrate groups all seem to be hiding around 2 cryptic species. A well-known example comes from Arizona. For years, scientists believed that mountain king snakes living across the state were part of the same species because they looked so similar. In 2011, however, molecular studies showed that snakes from northern Arizona were genetically different from those in the south. The southern population was reclassified as its own species, Lampropeltis knoblochi, while the northern snakes retained the name Lampropeltis pyromelana. If you compare those 2 mountain king snakes, they all look pretty much the same with their red, black, and yellow-white stripes. But the molecular data show that there are distinct but cryptic northern and southern species. Researchers began thinking about the project about 3 years ago after noticing that many taxonomy studies were reporting genetically distinct species that were visually indistinguishable. They had never systematically measured how widespread this phenomenon might be across vertebrates. To investigate, the research team compiled results from more than 300 studies conducted by scientists around the world. There aren't many research groups focused purely on cryptic species. Most people discover them as a byproduct of other biodiversity or taxonomy studies rather than as the main goal. The team also evaluated different techniques used to estimate the number of cryptic species, creating a framework that could help guide future research. The implications of these findings extend beyond classification. Recognizing hidden species could significantly change how conservation strategies are designed. When a species that was once thought to be widespread is split into several distinct cryptic species, each one typically occupies a smaller geographic range. That reduced range can increase the risk of extinction. People have generally found that the smaller a species' range size is, the more likely that species is to go extinct. Even though hundreds of molecular studies have uncovered hundreds of cryptic species, very few have been formally described or named. That leaves these species without official recognition or legal protection. Another concern is that conservation programs could unintentionally mix different species if they are not properly identified. Scientists noted that breeding programs designed to boost population numbers might pair individuals from separate cryptic species without realizing it. Hidden diversity is an important consideration to make in our conservation efforts. For the researchers, the takeaway is straightforward. If we don't know a species exists, then we can't protect it. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed our videos, subscribe to our channel for there's more to come.